Welcome to Bourbon Taste-Offs, playoff brackets of the best whiskeys. Join us in our season-long quest to find our tastiest bourbon. And here are the playoff brackets of the best whiskeys. They include the first quarter, the first 3 months are done, in the books. Here is a list of what is advanced. We are currently recording the second quarter. Please listen into the episodes and follow along and join us in this journey. Hello, welcome to Bourbon Taste-Offs. This is episode number 23. We're back at it, gang. This one's going to be about Jefferson's Reserve and Jefferson's Ocean. In an earlier episode, Josh was talking about having actually gone to the distillery. So we thought, let's bring out some Jefferson options. We are your hosts, Todd, Josh, Adam, and Becca. Thank you guys so much for joining us again. Josh, what can you tell us about the distillery? You were there.
Yeah, so I don't know the history of it. I mean, it's been probably 2 years since I've been to the distillery. But the Artisan Distillery is kind of a small, nondescript building on the side of the road. It looks like an old, kind of a wooden cabin feel on the outside. But you walk in, just a small little gift shop. And then you actually walk into the back, and they're actually prepping and preparing the bourbon and mixing it all up and then pouring it into the barrels. So it's an artisan distillery, and I believe that they do a lot of bourbons for a lot of different, people, not only just Jefferson.
Okay.
And that's how we were able to get the one that we got. And it, it's kind of a cool thing because I had organized a golf trip for 12 guys, and it came together really last second. And I was looking for any place that had availability for 12 guys to taste together. And we luckily had gotten into the Artisan, and we were able to try out the Jefferson, and that was a really cool experience just to have 12 guys together, your friends.
That is cool.
And be able to try it out. The other two that we did was something that a lot of people have probably never heard of, but Jep the Creed. And that one was super unique. They have like bloody orange corn is what they call it. So they actually had a different way of, or kind of a different, ingredients. And then the third place that we had tried, and actually there was no bourbon, but it was actually an abandoned bourbon or abandoned distillery from back in the 60s and 70s. I'll have to send you over the links so you can throw them up there. But those are kind of the three unique places. And it all started with, the Jefferson Ocean, and it was really cool because a lot of us had heard of Jefferson Ocean aged at sea.
Yeah.
And then they kind of go through, they kind of like show a picture of they did it and they tried it, and really, when I think of Jefferson Ocean, or Jefferson's in general, artisan, small batch. And over time, I think because of the quality of the ocean, that they've really kind of gained a lot of fame. So
for you're saying like small batch and like a smaller kind of distillery feel, right? They have a large presence, I feel like, in like the bourbon community for like where everything's at.
Right, totally. I don't know how, when you go there, you're like, you can easily find it, and everyone knows it's good. I go down to Florida, I see it. I go everywhere, I see it. So it's comical because you can't find Buffalo Trace anywhere, but you can find this everywhere. And it's a lot smaller of a distillery. So something's not making sense.
Weird. Yeah.
But it's pretty good. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think Jefferson's is it's an NDP, I believe, which is a non-distilling producer. I think they actually get their stuff from Indiana, which would be an MGP product. So, I mean, maybe they're doing stuff for other people. Maybe they're taking the bottles that were aged for them, bringing it in and mixing it and mashing it and doing what they need to do. It'd be curious to see, what does go on.
Yeah, what's the full start to, from grain to bottle process.
I think it's cool because, so we have four tastes in front of us. Right off the top of my head, like you mentioned, the Ocean's Age at Sea. That's one of their products. There's quite a few out there. I know there's more than 4 for sure. But I think it's going to be fun to really try these without knowing which one we're trying, to see if, in fact, that Ocean's Age at Sea is a gimmick, or if it's like, ooh, yeah, No, so it's cool. Yeah, I'm curious what's in front of us, what we're going to figure out, and which one we pick as a winner.
I am too.
They have the Reserve. They have the Cognac.
There's the Pritchard Hill Cabernet.
Yep. Yep. What are some? You said that there's a wheated.
Yeah, there's a.
We have a Twin Oak.
There's an Ocean wheated. There's a Cask Strength Ocean
There's an
Voyage.
Ocean Rye.
I have the rye at home. Yep.
Yeah,
I've never tried that.
We have the Singapore, I believe, too.
That's the Tropics aged at sea.
Yeah, so there's different voyages too. You know, when you look at the little, open little booklet.
Wheated. They have a wheated Oceans too.
Yeah, yep. And that might be one of these options as well. So
I don't think all of them are Ocean, though.
No,
I think they're
like they have a wheated Oceans.
Oh, they have
That's
wheated
one of
Oceans
the
as well.
voyages
Interesting.
Was a wheated.
Yeah.
Wild. Yeah. So they have, and then they have like Jefferson Reserve, which I think is just
They're
the
regular.
plain regular.
right, it doesn't go on a ship and
Right.
on a
It
voyage.
just lives in Kentucky.
Right.
Darn.
Right.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Well, looking at these, one definitely looks the darkest. It like stands out. It's like the stepchild of them all. In my
The
opinion.
mixed baby.
Yeah. Well, let's find out what's going to go against what. So, Josh, if you want to take a pick. Sorry, Adam. Adam was all ready to go.
I was trying to,
He had his crane ready.
be
What
involved.
number we got?
2.
1 versus 2.
Very good.
Easy enough.
We're so boring.
Adam, I promise. If you make it onto another episode, you can pick the next
Cool. I like it.
one.
We actually don't trust Adam.
That's fair. That's
He's gonna
fair.
pick 5 and he's gonna wild card
I
in.
know. Be like, number 7. Pick number 3, my
He
lord.
pulls out a flash from his pocket.
Yeah.
This is number 5.
Whatever this is, it's a mix.
An infinity glass.
That's right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To infinity and beyond. Yeah, I was gonna drink right away. I guess nose it first.
Yeah, Todd, get with it.
Yeah,
What are you
I know.
doing?
I'm all anxious. This is a fun process.
It is. It is. It makes you slow down a little bit and try to enjoy and pick apart things a little bit more as you're experiencing them.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's fun to hear different stories from everybody as well. That's a cool shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's it's a 4th of July-ish kind of shirt, and I got a 4th of July-ish kind of hat. And,
Yes.
Because we're coming into that month, and so I just want to be a little festive.
I can see your hat.
Oh, sorry, hold on.
There we go.
Everyone can see it. Yeah.
Yep.
I like how like MLB and then you see NFL. They have all
Yeah.
like, just
The different stuff for everything.
Yeah, like you have a Hawaiian. My buddy has a Hawaiian shirt, Packers shirt that he
Oh, nice.
wears. He's a huge Packer fan. Actually, the one that got me into bourbon, so it's kind of cool. Smell
Yeah, this
decent.
I think I can almost tell what this is right away.
The taste is very unique.
Yeah, it is.
You think you can tell?
It tastes like a finish, doesn't it? It doesn't taste like.
I don't know if it's finished, but it definitely has a rye, feels like a high rye mash bill
Okay.
on the flavor. Smell-wise, I'm not getting anything like super, super jumpy. I'm like not getting huge baking spices, but it seems like a smooth, well-rounded nose.
Okay.
Like it's kind of got a little bit of all those classic-y, bourbon-y kind of smells.
I'm thinking of a wine.
Hmm.
It's solid. It's definitely a solid pour. Very easily sippable.
Yeah.
Got a nice nose. It's got a nice mouthfeel. It's got a nice finish. Like there's a little caramely. Nothing too heavy. Nothing too crazy. But you are getting a little grapiness to it.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with everything you said too.
Do like the smell a lot.
A dough, yeah. It's got a good oak amount too. I mean, I've said it a million times. I like a lot of oak, and like I feel like there's enough in there,
Right.
where it's not like I wish I had more barrel flavor. I think wherever this is at is like what that is supposed to have for a barrel flavor.
If this is Jefferson's, just straight Jefferson's, we're in for a good time.
Yeah. No kidding.
I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Does anybody want to talk about the what makes it an ocean? Like, what do they do with this?
Yeah, so like after they get done distilling it, they put it in their bottles. They put it on a ship and they travel.
barrels.
Bottles
Barrel.
or
The
barrels?
barrels,
Barrel.
the barrels. Sorry, they put it in barrels, and then they age it on the ocean, going on different trips around through different ports and everything. And each different voyage will tell you where they stopped and stayed for how long,
And what time of year it was,
and
what
what
the
time of year, what the
were.
temperatures were. They actually do a pretty good job of documenting all of that stuff on their webpage and everything. So
And what's
it's
the purpose of putting it on a ship?
So just like when we've tried stuff from like Kentucky, Tennessee, and Texas, you can taste the difference of how the temperatures and everything have aged like help age like the whiskey and by the heat cycling and everything else. Like other places, they'll forcibly heat cycle it. Well, if they're taking it through and moving it through different climates, different humidities, and
there's an
different
idea with the
temperatures.
sea salt air too.
Oh.
So
they did articulate that as well.
Yeah,
Just
so
the salt
right.
aspect and.
Right, like
Yeah.
like the salt is going to help dry out the barrels, which will help pull more whiskey into it, and then add different
And
stuff
then
that
also
way.
the idea of how is the water on the ocean? Was it really wavy? Was it calm? How much did those barrels move about within themselves?
Because sloshing around should
Yeah.
make it draw more
Right.
flavor out.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because normally, unless you're rotating your barrels, like that top percentage of the barrel is not getting touched nearly just by vapors, right? So, as if the barrels are sloshing around, you get more
There's a
whiskey
lot of
exposed to
distilleries
barrels.
that do not rotate anymore.
Oh, it's expensive and it's time consuming.
Yeah.
Super expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what a concept to put it on a ship and have the
Right.
waves do a lot of the work.
Right,
you know?
and it is crazy because they put the barrels on the boat or in a rick house totally full, right? Like all the way out through like the bunk, right?
Yeah.
And then as it ages, right, you're gonna lose some distillate throughout, like the angels, right? The angels,
Evaporates.
the angel share.
angel share, yeah. So then when that happens, then you start getting less and less in the barrel. So the older the whiskey is, the more air you're going to have or vapor you're going to have inside that barrel. So if you're traveling on the ocean and you're doing something like that, that really puts that into, a little bit of more into play. You know what I mean? So
I do.
It's interesting and fun. I think whiskey should be interesting and fun.
I mean, they say with micro aging, and it's basically taking smaller barrels. It's all about surface area.
Yeah.
Well, when you're having this barrel just sit there, the surface area is just touching some of the alcohol. When it's sloshing around, it's basically adding a lot more surface area to the volume of bourbon.
Yeah. And people will put extra staves inside the barrel that aren't actually part of the barrel to help.
And that happens
Yeah,
with Jefferson's Ocean?
No,
Or
I don't know.
No,
if it
not
does.
with ocean.
I don't know.
It's just
okay.
different aging.
Sure.
All right, moving on to 2.
Yeah.
I get, like we mentioned it, that you might have the Cabernet cask finish. I'm getting that on 2.
Oh, are you? Have you just nosed it, or have you
On
tasted
the
it?
nose. On the nose, I'm getting that.
I get a lot of green fruit up front, personally, kind of like a Granny Smith apple, but I get that a lot on some of these different bourbons. Before you taste them and come back to it, like your initial nosing, I do get that. Yeah, I haven't tried it yet.
So I'm tasting 2.
Just glad you get your water.
I am too.
Okay.
That water was needed after glass 1 because I think 1 is
I'm not getting
Finished.
that same.
I think 1 is finished for sure.
I'm not getting that same flavor.
I'm getting a lot more oaky out of 2. Like, definitely.
It was in the
more
nose
oaky.
for me, and now that I'm tasting it,
I have 1 picked.
you always say I have 1 picked. Like,
It's
hey,
never.
I might have
It's
chosen
not
1,
always number 1, though.
but it's not 1.
But I have picked 1.
I have picked 1. I have chosen.
That was awfully quick.
I had cheated, and before you guys were talking, I actually went to 2, and I was like, oh, I picked it between the 2 of them.
Okay.
So actually, but don't look at my notes.
No.
I don't want
I
you
got
to
my
cheat.
notes. I already know what I kind of am looking. I know what I would pick, too, so.
It was actually a very easy pick for me. Was it an easy pick for you?
It wasn't an easy pick, but it was definitely like, yeah.
I
But
enjoy both.
I do too.
I do have flavor points that I tell everyone I like a lot. So
I can tell you there's one I definitely did not enjoy. That's just
There was
me.
actually one you didn't enjoy then.
Correct.
gotcha. Are you guys ready? Can we start? You want me to go first? Or you want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay, I'm gonna take 2. It's more oaky for me, and I do, like I said a million times, I like that oaky flavor. So I'm gonna stick with that. I do like the nose on 1 quite a lot more than 2, but the finish on 2 I really enjoy. So yeah, 2.
Should we go around the horn? She's like, no, I got
I'll
a
go.
cracker in my mouth.
For sure, it's easy pick for me too. I was okay with it, but I really am not a fan of the finish on. The smell was good, but I wasn't a big fan of the taste on 1.
Yeah. I've made a comment before about finishing and how sometimes I think that it is used to hide imperfections. And I think this is way more of a finished taste than the actual bourbon taste.
Fair.
So it almost seems like a cover up to me. So I'm picking 2.
Like cologne on a smelly guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I agree.
Well said.
The nose on 1 was fabulous. The taste was still good, but 2 is better. 2 is.
That was unanimous.
Easy peasy.
Three.
I like your idea of swirling it.
Yeah, they call it charging the glass, and it kind of like makes the bourbon stick to the glass, and then it like as it's evaporating, then because it's able to evaporate quicker.
This one needed a charging. I don't
Did
know
it?
about you guys. It smells like paint thinner to me.
Ooh. It is stronger, which means
High ethanol.
I bet it's a higher proof then.
I mean, it could be,
there.
but not necessarily, right? Like,
Yeah.
you could just be getting less benefit of age.
That is true.
It might need some aeration too,
I got a fan out back.
or charging of the glass.
Not bad. I don't mind it. Do you like it?
On the nose or on the tongue?
Both.
The
In the mouth,
nose,
it feels plus proof for sure, like over 100.
yeah, and I will say one of them was a cast strength, and
That's probably this one.
I would think with the
That
nose.
made my mouth water. Like,
I was like,
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, you get that the numb lips, right? A little bit of.
I think, for those that have watched this a bit, Todd and I like the higher proof stuff.
to me, it's like candy. This is
Yeah.
I usually feel like you get into higher proof bourbons, the more bourbon you drink, right?
I agree.
But
Because
don't
like,
tell my wife that.
I don't think I was prepared for it after 1 and 2.
Well, that's
in
the
all
problem.
reality.
it just feels like there's more condensed flavors, in a higher proof because it's less like essentially watered down, right? So like you get more of that, but different flavors present themselves differently as you go. Like as you start bringing your down in proof, but like the barrel proof stuff or cast strength stuff really like is like here's everything we have,
Yeah.
which sometimes is great on the rocks. It keeps changing as you're drinking it.
And that's what I love. I love something like this if it was on the rocks.
Yeah.
And Josh and I, we were hoping someday to have like an episode where it's like on the rocks, which I think I want to take like a bunch of high proof stuff and just,
Maybe we just sit back and not even do a comparison, but just like, hey, like, how does it taste over time?
oh, that's a good point too.
And then,
Yeah.
or maybe just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or find like the highest proof thing.
I think the highest one we got right now is like 134. What's the Michter's single barrel proof we got? It was like 130 something.
Oh, wow.
I've never owned anything over 140.
The Old Forester single barrel, that's like a 130 that I
Yeah.
have. That's
Yeah.
pretty high.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, they're
I've never seen-
delicious though.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it.
Yeah,
I did
three
too.
sounds good. Three's good.
Yeah.
4 is more. I got like
Ooh.
pear like all
Ooh.
day. Like, but not
I think
like
3 and 4 are better than 1 and 2.
yeah.
Sorry, Adam, I cut you off because
No,
I
you're
liked
good.
it so much.
Yeah, no. I
Like,
was
hilarious.
Adam's talking. I'm like, ooh. I think the last episode on this one, I'm waiting for something to come out and be like, this is
jump
good.
out at you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been waiting for that a little
The
bit.
nose on this one, I think, like I said, is like I'm getting like a lot of like fresh cut pear, like fruit that way, which is awesome. And then it's kind of got a little bit of a sugary demerara kind of end finish to it, just on the nose, which is nice. Yeah.
I like 4 a lot. I
Yeah.
just need to rinse 3 out a little better before I can really
Yeah.
appreciate 4.
You like 4 as well?
I like 4 a lot.
That's crazy.
I think it has that oaky flavor that I really like, but it has all the other stuff too. That's fun.
Yeah, this was.
Yeah, 3 punched me.
I
in
can
the
already
throat
tell you which one I want for
out the gate.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's good, but like I said, I wasn't prepared for it, but it kind of caught me off
Bill.
guard. So 4 is kind of this nice, calm, relaxing, smooth, enjoyable taste
Yeah.
after 3 for me.
Yeah. No, I think the proof point on 4 is definitely a lower proof point, but like I was saying, is they balance out to get the flavors they want at that proof point, and I think this hits where exactly they wanted it.
I feel like if I tried 4 after 1 or 2, though, I'd have a different experience.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried 1, 2, 3, and I think progressively just kept getting better. And 3, I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this is good. And then 4, I was like, damn.
Yeah, 4 jumped out at me. So actually, I'm gonna pick 4. I'm just gonna go with it right away.
Yeah. To me, 4 tastes like brown sugar water.
Oh, so you don't like it?
No, but I love sweet though.
To me, it tastes like burlap.
Right.
This is a cheap, simple syrup.
No. It's, yeah, right.
Sorry, this is not. Hey, this episode shouldn't be called "Pick on Todd."
Yeah.
No, it's definitely aged in wood, of course. But I mean, it's just super sweet. I don't remember the last time I had one this sweet.
I'm so curious.
I
what
do.
it is.
I know one's sweeter is when we did the Angels Envy.
Oh, for
forecast
sure.
finish.
Yeah, I suppose.
That one was sweeter.
Yeah, this is a little reminiscent of that, but I picked 4.
Yeah.
Going away.
Yeah.
Okay, I picked 3. I like that high proof.
Yep.
You made
Dum,
me the
dum.
tiebreaker? I know.
Ladies' choice.
That's why I said, like, can I try 1 and then 4? Or
No.
am I stuck?
We're doing 3 versus 4.
Yep.
That's how
You guys are
brackets
both
work.
nervous now because it was
I'm not.
discussed in
I'm
a
not
previous
nervous.
episode.
I'm not nervous at all. I don't know.
I'm okay with either.
I was very distinct on my decision.
I'm struggling. I like them both for
Take your time.
completely different reasons.
It's a very significant decision.
Yeah.
Don't mess up.
Don't mess up. Don't go to sleep.
And if you don't pick what the host pick, you're not coming back next
No,
It's never invited back.
have no biases. Just whatever you pick is fine. Because they're both winners to me. I'd be
I like them
absolutely
both.
happy with them.
I think this 3 and 4 are the top 2.
Yeah, I think 3 and 4. I wish it was. They weren't put together. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
you
they were
picked the
separately.
wrong number, Josh.
And messed up again. I know. He's not coming back either. Walk the plank.
Yep.
I mean, I guess it's a very apropos reference
Right.
when we're talking about Jefferson Ocean, walking the plank, right?
Yeah, very much so.
No,
Yeah.
I'm going
Nice.
with 4.
Okay.
Very good. Yeah, it was really sweet. I loved it as well. I just had to give a little love to the high cast strength, I think is what it was.
No, yeah.
So we're going to do... Well, let's bring those out, actually. Let's bring them out and find out. All right, so the first glass we tried was the Pritchard Hill Cabernet Cask Finish. And it, we were picking up some like more wine, like finished product kind of thing, because it is a finish in a Cabernet Sauvignon cask, which a Cabernet cask, I mean, one of the darker wines there is, and full flavored wines there is the Cabernet.
Yeah, the Cabernet is a full-bodied one.
Yeah. So
High fruit, full body.
I thought it was delicious. However, I did think it was kind of hiding the bourbon aspect of it.
Is that a barrel select as well?
It is single barrel, hand selected by Otto's, which is a
Store by us.
store by us.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, another Jefferson's.
Another
And another store pick.
Right.
Another
This
store
time
pick.
Woodman.
And another single barrel. So you're dealing with single barrels, at least 2 of them now.
Yeah.
This is an ocean, which we were talking about. Adam mentioned how they put it in a ship and cruises. And actually, I should get the little booklet to show what the cruise was about. But this is voyage number 30. This is 117 proof.
Oh, zesty.
Yeah. So
Which one's that one again?
That was
it
3.
seemed
3?
much higher right after number 2. So I'm curious what the proof is of number 2.
It's
Right.
a little hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't. I didn't think it tasted
What's the proof on
117.
the number 1?
No.
20.
20 proof?
20 proof.
90, I think.
90.2.
All right, thank you.
There's always one. There's always
Well,
that
that's the
smart
thing
ass.
is you could totally tell, like, hey, I like a 20 proof bourbon. And people will be like, yeah, me too. You're like, you don't like bourbon.
I've had this before and knew I wasn't a fan. I've had the cognac one, knew I wasn't a fan.
Gotcha.
I think Jefferson, and this is going to be an abrasive word, but a little inept when it comes to finishing,
Oh,
Okay.
is my
gotcha.
general opinion.
Like just stick to barrels and regular straight bourbons.
Right, yep.
Yeah.
This episode is not brought to you by Jefferson's.
And if it is, we love Jefferson's.
Right.
It's the greatest thing ever.
But there are other stuff. I mean, the ocean, this one came off really strong. I lost a little flavor in there.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, it was maybe watered down, but I don't. It's interesting that is the cast strength and how I didn't get the sense that adding a little water or adding a little ice would actually modify the flavor that much. So
Okay.
that'd be one to try for a future episode.
I think it would. I think
Yeah.
it would change it quite a bit.
Okay, cool. No, I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those I'm like, oh, I didn't have the character
Sure.
of the taste that I did
Gotcha.
off of the 4.
Right. It was more linear.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna for the image of it, we're gonna go back to 2.
2.
see See if it can hold. You're on 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because I like it better.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. To each their own. Charlize their
The
own.
caramelization on 2. You know, you had said 4 was almost too sweet, but 2 has a sweetness to it
Yeah.
that is definitely holding.
Sorry.
2's actually not bad.
No.
Right. I think it had to go up against one that was like almost an imposter
Right. Imposter syndrome.
syndrome. Yeah.
The finish on 2 starts off a little acrid and then kind of fades into like that sweeter kind of finish, and then it kind of disappears very quickly. So like it's not necessarily the greatest, but like it does have a decent finish. But like it's kind of one of those flavor profiles you have to enjoy,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, yeah, I agree. I have a guess what they each are now. Just no, I obviously knew. I know. I won't
Well,
say anything.
you know,
but I knew it was going in. You guys really
yeah, we have
didn't,
no
so-
idea what's in
Right.
there. All you know is one distillery.
Right.
Like I said, I could just think of what I know the lineup could be based on what I know about the distillery.
Yeah.
Which bottles I've seen.
When you were down there checking out these guys and Jefferson Creek, did you guys check out Whiskey Thief?
I've never even heard of Whiskey Thief.
It was the cutest little smallest distillery in the world.
Oh, really?
It was in like a pole shed, and it was absolutely amazing.
There was just a tiny little yard sign like, hey, Whiskey Thief Distillery
Yeah.
this way. And then you just drive down this old...
It's
like,
literally
dirt
just a horse
road.
farm road.
Literally just grass down the
Really?
middle, just...
Yeah.
And you just keep going and going until you reach the barn. And it's like, keep going this way. And you make it to this barn. You come in, they've got a bunch of open barrels, and they've got the old school Whiskey Thieves.
Right.
Big
And that's how you
metal-
pick your stuff. So everything that they will
They
do.
put it in the barrel. They like suck it off like a straw when you're a child. You know what I'm saying? Lift
Yep.
it up. And
Yep.
drop
Yeah,
it into
they did that at
everybody's
Jeff the
glasses.
Creed as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So they'd take it out of the barrel. They would take it out of the barrel, then they would, with that big metal pole,
Yeah.
Which is the Whiskey
That's
Thief.
called the
Yep.
Whiskey,
Whiskey
Thief.
Thief, and then they would actually put it through a filter,
Yeah.
and then pour it for everyone, and that was a really cool experience.
Yeah, like when we were out there, it was awesome. But yeah, like it's that one is between both of them, you know. So like we were driving through trying to find places that were open. And that's we ended up going to Whiskey Thief.
Yeah.
But,
So their tour included you, like the tour, but you also got to taste all the open bottles that were there. You know, little pours with the souvenir glass, and you got to go up and smell the mash bills on each one. Blah 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 blah. And then their goal was to try to get you to purchase your own bottle that you could make based off of choosing a blend of the barrels or just one of the barrels or
That's awesome.
whatever.
Yeah, it was a really great time.
It
We had
was charming.
It was a beautiful day, and you know all that normal like it's just good general time. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it made me
awesome.
think of it when you're saying because like it's
I wish
between the
them
two
well, though.
distilleries off the
They're-
freeway
Sure.
to the west instead of going to the east to like
Got
Jefferson
it.
Creek. So it's like right in
Near
that same area.
Shelbyville and stuff.
Yeah.
So you guys didn't research it. You just happened upon it.
No, we just went.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was
That
cool.
was distillery tour number 4 in the same day.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
We almost didn't make it back.
And
We
then
almost
and
pulled
all
over
the
and
ones there
called
were
an
all
Uber.
barrel proof because they're
Oh.
straight out of the barrel.
Sure.
They were all so good.
I've actually
You
heard
slept
of
good
them.
that night.
Oh, so good.
I've heard them on a different podcast. I've heard of Whiskey Thief. So maybe
Yeah.
they're getting bigger. How long ago was it that you were there?
2 years
Last
ago.
summer.
Well, last summer. Yeah, it was last summer.
Okay.
Yep.
So probably not the best chance of them actually getting bigger.
No,
quite
they
yet.
they just won an award somewhere for something.
So
They're
that'll
definitely-
do it.
Yeah.
They're
on the micro distillery bourbon trail.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're getting their name out there, but they're
Yeah.
not to the point that you're going to be able to get a bottle. Here.
Right.
Sure. Okay.
Still got to go down
Okay.
to Kentucky to find them.
You guys ready for this one?
I think so.
Okay.
That is so delicious.
I
Sorry.
Oh, Whiskey Thief got her.
got her.
That thief.
Well, I'm gonna go with number 4. I liked it the first time we went around, and I liked it better than 2. So I'm gonna stick with 4.
All right, jump to me. I'll go with 4, and I have an idea before we bring them out what it might be. So
Becca?
I'm going to 4. But I could just sniff on 2. Like put
You
2
think
into
2 has a better
candle.
smell?
I think 2 has a better palate or smell.
Put
Yeah.
it on a candle and I
It
could
does
burn
smell
this
good.
at my
I
house.
agree.
It has a
Yeah.
fabulous smell. But
I just
4.
love that finish and that initial hit on 4.
I think 2 and 4 both have great smell, but I'm gonna go with 4.
Cool.
I knew the second I tasted it, I was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
one step above.
Kind of opened my eyes a little bit and like, ooh, yeah, nice.
Yeah, I was waiting for that between
Right.
last episode and this episode. I was waiting
Yep.
for one to be like, oh.
Yep. Like
And I interrupted you with my, oh.
no,
this
it's
is good.
perfect. It's a Eureka moment, you know?
You should edit in.
Right?
Yeah.
You just did.
Little light bulb and like light shining right behind
Right.
Josh's head.
So Todd, before they come out, what do you think they are?
Yeah, and that's what I want to let you guys know. So we're gonna have this little thought experiment together. I'll let you guys know what is left. So they're both Jefferson's Ocean.
Okay.
One is like Voyage 23, and the other one is Voyage 29, but it's a wheated. Now they're both gonna be 90 proof-ish. So now, based on that information, do you guys think you might know
Did
between
I
2 and
choose the
4?
weeded or not the weeded?
Right. In a previous episode, I actually made a comment thinking that weeded typically doesn't give you quite the nose, and so that's why I'm
But
thinking
weeded's also sweeter.
it's sweeter though too. That's why I'm thinking 4 would be the weeded.
So I've never had their weeded before.
I have had the voyage he's talking about. We had a bottle of it, and I don't want to say anything because I don't want to sound silly.
I have no clue.
You're just leaving that to me.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with
23
you.
and 29?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had one of those.
Yeah.
Is it how it finished? Is why you don't want to speak about it?
He just doesn't want to be wrong.
I don't.
Oh.
No, I agree with you. I think 4 is. My guess is 4 is the weeded.
That
honestly.
would be my guess.
Yeah. Because of the finish of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been wrong before, so I don't want to seem stupid too.
Oh,
Bring
thanks.
them
Thanks.
out. Bring them out.
But I'll let you guys.
Yeah.
I'm so worried about looking stupid.
It's just even worse because I've owned a bottle and we drank the whole thing.
Right.
So I'm gonna. I
Every
have.
episode, I look stupid, so it doesn't matter to me anymore. I don't care.
My best friend is really big into weededs, so I am actually. It's not something that I've had a ton of, but it's becoming more popular. So for me to be able to pick out what a weeded tastes like is very difficult for me because I have not had a ton.
It seems like it's a lot easier. Like if you have like a rye and 2 straight bourbons and a weeded and you put them together, you could pick out the weeded that way.
Yeah.
But
Which
if you
we
have
should have been able to then with this.
right, which is why I think we have that.
Yeah.
I mean, I might be totally wrong, and then
We can both look the same way.
perfect.
All right, let's go get this and find out. All right, so we're back, and
was an
Adam
old-
was so wrong. Like he
So
thought
wrong.
4 was
I'm
the
the worst.
weeded.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I thought you might have been wrong because of how much sugar I got on the nose with 2.
Yeah. So we'll talk about the loser first. So it is the weeded was Voyage 29, and that was number 2. And apparently, weeded, the nosing of a weeded bourbon is nice and sweet. Like in the past, I haven't been able to get much off of weeded, but this one did show itself. It's a single barrel as well, but it's a weeded mash bill. And this is also a single barrel. It does not say who it was hand selected by, but it looks like it was a store pick. They just didn't put their store pick information on there.
What a waste. There needs to be a bourbon taste-offs, selected.
Yeah,
That'd be
right.
great.
Yeah, I'll it's.
Put your logo.
You can write
I'll
it
put
in.
my logo
you
in
can just
there,
write
yeah.
it right in there.
This was selected by us,
Yeah.
so we're gonna switch the glasses and say it won.
Wow.
So Becca, what can you tell us about the winner?
Well, you took the Voyage 23.
Yep.
Yeah. So
And I
this
no
is
longer
another
have.
Ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the Voyage 23. It is the basic Voyage, not a weeded, not a cast strength, not finished in anything goofy.
But that's an early enough voyage where it probably drew a lot of people into.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
It's good.
So for me, like I said, I putting this chilled
Yeah.
and straight. It is phenomenal. Like just chilling out a little bit. And when I was tasting through this, it's like, oh shit, this is good. And this is actually one of the first bourbons that really made me love
Gotcha.
bourbon.
Yeah.
I don't know what voyage I was into. It was in
Right.
the 20s, but
Yeah.
this is darn good.
See, like that's like we've keep talking about different ways of aging whiskey, right? And like these all have done trips around, except for this one, right? Have done trips around the planet, right? And like just depends on where you're at and what the weather's been, and the heat cycling from that makes a monstrous difference, and which makes total sense when you start looking at like different parts of the country, different parts of the planet where you make it. So it's really fun that they're doing something like this to like really try to do something special, you know.
I agree. And, 3 of the 4 were all single barrels. This is a blend. The one that won took a lot of actually, different flavor wood profiles because a single barrel, you're stuck with whatever that barrel provided to the bourbon.
Right.
Where a blend is you're taking a bunch of like honey barrels and putting it with other barrels that weren't as, and it's so a lot of people look down on blends, but in reality, you can really come up with some good stuff.
I think blends are really like if you have a good master distiller and they're starting to blend their whiskeys together, that they're picking what they want that to taste like. It's like a conductor with an orchestra.
Correct.
Like what do I want this song to sound like? What do I want this whiskey to taste like in the end product? So I think that's a lot to say about their head distiller or master distiller.
Yeah. In conclusion, don't finish your products. Put them on a trip.
There we go. I think that's what we alluded to.
I'm waiting for the Jefferson Ocean aged in the sky, like
like a hot air balloon,
like a
Zeppelin,
Jeff Bezos or
Space.
Elon Musk, SpaceX.
Yeah, the Jefferson's aged in space.
Yeah, where none of the liquid touches the barrel at all. It just floats into
just floats.
On your point of blends, Bardstown Fusion, right? So we've all been talking about it, since kind of the beginning of, Todd, you and I specifically, of how much we enjoy that.
Yeah.
And this is no different.
I agree.
So, and to your point, you have a good master distiller that knows what they want the outcome to be.
Right.
They're going to make that shit taste good.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure. And, even like some of the Maker's Marks and stuff, that's how they're doing some like the honeysuckle blend or the campfire blend.
Right.
They're mixing together something for a certain flavor that they want. And that's how that, goes. So, I mean, this just proves that like your master distiller is what makes your distillery.
Absolutely. Well said. Everybody, thank you so much for getting together and making the best of Jefferson's come out to be Jefferson's Voyage number 23. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you watch our next episode. Make sure you like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.